Hello, everyone, and welcome to Elevation Niche. I'm Desborne O'Neil. Today on this channel, we are going to be talking about why you need to get out of that narcissistic relationship now. And we're going to discuss three important reasons. Stay tuned. All right. Welcome back to Elevation Niche. On this channel, we talk about everything to elevate you and to have you enjoying a better way of life. I'm Desborne O'Neil, and I want to talk to you today about three reasons why you need to get out of that narcissistic relationship right now. You need to go, get out, run right now. Okay, as a survivor of a narcissistic relationship myself, I have done a lot of research on the topic, and I believe that I am able now to share my own life experiences as well as help you to overcome what you need to get rid of or get out of, but you're unable to do it. All right. So first of all, let's define what a narcissist is. Now, I always thought, a narcissist coming stemming from the Greek understanding of Narcissus, that individual that bent over into the river and saw his reflection and ended up being stuck there as a plant for an eternity, basically, because they were just enamored by their own reflection, loving themselves. So I thought that a narcissist really was just somebody who loves themselves. But this goes way deeper than that. A narcissist, from a psychological standpoint, does not have empathy. They do not love like an ordinary person love. As a matter of fact, they are so empty and shallow on the inside that they really don't have a personality of their own. What they only can do is to mimic others. All right. So whatever you see, what empathy you see, what love you see, what self-sacrificing attributes you see is not really their own. It is what they have mimicked. It is what it doesn't come naturally. It is what they have learned from other people, because the narcissist themselves is so empty and so void. They actually hate themselves. They cannot be in a room by themselves. They hate being alone. And so if you get out of a relationship with a narcissist, that hurts them deeply, deeply inside. That fear of abandonment is ever so present within the narcissist. All right. So a narcissist not only love themselves, they have no empathy, no real empathy of their own. They have no real love of their own. And it took me a long while to really understand and come to grips with that, because I have a lot of empathy. I have a lot of love. I don't do things to hurt people. What we say and how we do things is not intentional to hurt anybody, but they naturally will do it because how a narcissist feels on the inside and what they do is an extension of themselves. So they project a lot of their insecurities, a lot of their hurt onto others. So number one, they have no real empathy. Number two, they project a lot of hurt upon others. And the other thing is a narcissist cannot change. Well, unless God changed them. But a narcissist cannot really change. And that is such a weird, that is such a weird thing to come to grips with, such a weird thing to understand, in terms of how can a person not be willing to change, not be willing to become better, and so on. All right. So we're gonna get into three reasons why you need to get out of that narcissistic relationship right now. Let's get into it. So the first reason why you need to get out of that narcissistic relationship right now is reason number one: self-preservation and mental health. You need to preserve yourself and your mental health. Let me explain. Narcissistic relationships are often emotionally draining and damaging. Over time, the constant manipulation, gaslighting, and lack of empathy can lead to anxiety, depression, and a loss of self-worth. Leaving that toxic relationship is crucial for reclaiming your mental health and your well-being. A lot of us, especially us empaths, we feel that getting out of that relationship and seeing about ourselves is selfish. Well, let me let you know, there is nothing selfish about preserving your mental health. There's nothing selfish about preserving your own sense of worth, your own dignity. There is nothing selfish about that. Some of us have been in a narcissistic relationship for so long that we value only how other people feel, and we don't even value ourselves. We have become a proverbial doormat where people do what they want, say what they want, treat us how they want, walk upon you, they demand things from you, and at the end of the day, what do you get? Let me let you know, your self is important. You are so important that when God created you, He only created you alone. Nobody else walks like you, talks like you, or even has your very own fingerprint. You are a designer's original. So preserving yourself and your mental health is of utmost importance. Point number 2, restoring personal freedom and identity. You need to restore your personal freedom and establish your own identity. In a narcissistic relationship, your identity can become overshadowed by the narcissist's needs and demands. Have you ever been in a relationship where you are only concerned about how the other person feels, what the other person wants, or if you say something or do something, you are ever so conscious about the reaction that you get from your your significant other or from your partner? Chances are you could be in a narcissistic relationship and you need to get out of that. You cannot be in a relationship where you are unable to express yourself, where you are unable to give your own ideas, your own points, and so on. No. You need to get out of that. All right. So leaving allows you to rediscover your own passions, your own values. Leaving allows you to discover your own goals without the burden of constantly catering to somebody else's ego. A narcissist's ego is very, very huge. And the other thing about it is that these individuals, they don't see themselves. They don't see themselves. They don't see themselves hurting anybody. They don't see themselves or their way of thinking. They don't see that at all. It's as if when a narcissist goes into the mirror is blank. Or they see something else within that mirror. They don't see themselves and how they treat others and how their elevated sense of ego damages another person's life. All right. So you need to get out of that and make sure that you restore your own personal freedom and your own identity. And finally, the third reason why you need to get out of that narcissistic relationship is that you need to create your own space for healthy relationships. Most of us unknowingly have only been around in narcissistic relationships. And in my next video, I want you to stay tuned in terms of why you are only attracting a certain type of people. Why? And I'm sure whether it be women, whether it be men, it doesn't matter. It's not a gender thing. It's a people's thing. And I want you to understand that in our lives, as empaths, in our lives, you recognize that you only attract a certain type of people. No matter if you move to a different state, no matter if you You change jobs, you change country, you travel, you read books, you might even decide to get a PhD, or elevate your studies and so on. And after all of that, you get right back to the same type of individual, the same type of people that you're only running from. All right. And there is a reason for that. I want you to stay tuned to my next video. I'm going to be talking about why you are only ending up in narcissistic relationships. But let's get to this third point that we are making here. You need to create space for healthy relationships. You need to create that space. Staying in a narcissistic relationship can prevent you from forming meaningful connection with others, because you always feel that the other person always will gaslight you. You'll feel like the other person is always manipulating you. You'll feel like the other person always has you, on edge. But everybody is not like that. The narcissistic disorder, or the NPD, the narcissistic personality disorder, is not everybody has that. And there are some people that might have some bit of that, or everybody might have a little bit of that, but it's not a it's not a dominating trait in an individual. And so we need to be aware of that and understand that not everybody is a narcissist. And you might be in a narcissist or have only been in a narcissistic relationship, and because of that, it destroys your whole sense of reality. It destroys your perception of who other people are. All right. So you need to create space for a healthy relationship. You need to get out of that. Staying in a narcissistic relationship can prevent you from forming meaningful connection with others. By leaving, you open up yourself to a healthier relationship where mutual respect, mutual support, and mutual genuine love can thrive. Understand that a relationship, there are two persons. In any relationship, there are two. And the two individuals need to work together. It's not about one working and the other one sitting down and collecting all of the rewards. It's not about one person making the effort. It's not about one person's ideas only ought to matter. It ought to be two persons matter in that relationship. All right. So those are my 3 points. Just to recap a little bit. Number 1, self-preservation and mental health. Number 2, restoring personal freedom and identity. And number 3, creating a space for healthy relationships. That's my 3 reasons why you need to get out of that narcissistic relationship. And I want you to stay tuned, because I'm going to go into why we only ending up with narcissists. That's an important one. All right. So this is Desborne O'Neil here for Elevation Niche. I'm going to put a link in my description where you can get more information on how to get out of a narcissistic relationship, and as well as some other resources that you can use to help you to be aware of the type of relationship you have, and if you are in a narcissistic relationship, why you need to get out and get out now. Until then, take care, guys.